will in some form or another be on their way back home. Think of it. We've allowed millions and millions of people into our country through open borders, no checks, no vetting, no anything. Millions and millions of people. And lots of those people are murderers. 52% of them killed more than one person. Other than that, they're quite fine. They're nice people. These are rough people. Remember, I used to say these people are rough. And they would say, no, no, these are illegal immigrants. They're very safe. I said, they're not safe. Look at what's happened with Venezuela, where they're sending these gangs in and they're taking over apartment complexes in Colorado and then cutting off the fingers of a man who had the nerve and desire to call the police. He said, you want to call the police? Bah, guess what? You have no fingers. These are rough people, and they're getting the hell out of our country. They're out. The border security measures I will outline in my inaugural address tomorrow will be the most aggressive, sweeping effort to restore our borders the world has ever seen. You know, we had the best, safest border in the history of our country. You remember that with the great chart that I put up. I don't even know if they have that chart now. Maybe they do. These guys are good. Maybe they do. Who the hell? I don't know. I didn't tell them I was going to do this. I didn't tell, but we have some very good people, but I didn't say. But we had a chart, and I looked to my right, and then they said, ooh, that was it. That hurt. What the hell was that? I still have that throbbing feeling in my ear. Oh, there it is. Look at it. These people are amazing. I didn't tell them I was doing that. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's all over the place. I love that. That is the most beautiful piece of paper I've ever seen in my life. But if you look at that chart and you look at the red arrow on the bottom, that's the single lowest we ever had in history, at least recorded history, of illegals pouring into our country. We had done a great job, and then they took over, and look what happened. It's like an Elon Musk rocket ship going up. That reminds me of Elon, his rocket ships. Look at that. Look at the difference. And it just continued and continued, and we're taking in people that shouldn't be here. They come in from prisons, from jails. They shouldn't be here. Mental institutions. I used to mention, and the press would always excoriate me, I'd say the late, great Hannibal Lecter came into our country today. Silence of the Lamb. Anybody see that movie? Lovely movie. And when people went to the voter booth, they said, we don't want Hannibal Lecter in our country. The press would say, why is he bringing up Hannibal Lecter? That was a fictitious character. Actually, they're not so fictitious. We have people in our country that are probably worse that we allowed in. But we will quickly reestablish control of our sovereign territory and borders. We will expel every single illegal alien, gang member, and migrant criminal operating on American soil, and remove the savage gang Tren de Aragua from the United States. Here's a little video for you to see about this gang. Go ahead.
Open borders, deadly consequences.
Border crisis. Record high crossings are putting a strain on cities across America.
It is a full-blown invasion.
Armed Venezuelan gang members storming an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
When people talk about lack of crime, this is what they're talking about.
San Antonio, Texas, just one of the latest cities to have apartment complexes taken over by members of the Venezuelan gang.
Biden and Harris had created a program to bring them in under humanitarian parole.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
My 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered in her own room. Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah, we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
More than a dozen people suspected of being Tren de Aragua gang members right here in San Antonio.
The gang members had been terrorizing the apartment complex.
New details in the murder of Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national.
And was paroled and released into the country
by the Biden administration.
If they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Martinez and Angel wrapped his arms around Jocelyn's neck, took off her pants, and climbed on top of her. Later strangled Jocelyn to death and then tied up her hands and feet.
Court documents suggest a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan street gang.
The men threatened to cut off her fingers if she did not cooperate. Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colleyville police just 2 days earlier and released the day before the robbery.
A Peruvian gang leader who is wanted for 23 murders, who was arrested by Border Patrol near Roma, Texas, then released into America.
That's what we allowed in, and they're nice people compared to some of them. They're nicer than others. These are really vicious people, gang members, and many, many people from prisons. And crime all over the world is down. You know why? Because they got their criminals into the United States of America. You look at Venezuela, they've emptied their prisons into our country. Many other places the same. I would have done the same if I headed up any of the countries. I know most of those guys are smart. They're leaders. They are smart, streetwise people. As soon as I heard they were going to have open borders, I said, if you do that, every prison all over the world is going to be emptied out into our country. They come in from the Congo. The Congo's big on emptying their prisons. The only thing good about it is they make our criminals look like really nice people. These people are vicious people all over the world, not just South America, all over the world they come. From mental institutions and from jails and prisons. With our actions tomorrow, my administration will deliver justice for every family whose loved one has been stolen from them by migrant crime, including Laken Riley, Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungaray, Kayla Hamilton, and every other precious American soul that we have lost to these animals. Their memories will live in the hearts forever, in our hearts forever, and we will never, ever forget them. And their contribution, I told their mothers who were devastated, their parents, their fathers, they're devastated. They'll never be the same. They'll never be the same. But I said, your daughter has made a major contribution. Your son has made a major contribution. There are hundreds and even thousands of victims of this horrible atrocity. And you add those numbers to the numbers of crime that we're already going through the roof, and it's something that you wouldn't even believe. Do you remember I did the debate, and I had David Muir from ABC saying, no, crime has gone down. I said, no, it's gone through the roof. Crime has gone through the roof, David. No, crime has gone down. I said it's gone through the roof. And then he goes, I disagree with that. The next day they announced that crime was up like 40%. This guy is, the whole thing is it's so bad. You can't even imagine how anybody could be for these things of, think of it, open borders, prisons and mental institutions, men playing in women's sports, transgender for everyone. Transgender. And very soon we'll begin the largest deportation operation in American history, large and evil. Even larger than President Dwight Eisenhower, who has the record right now. And we're going to end the Biden war on American energy and unleash our energy resources to quickly defeat inflation and achieve the lowest cost of energy and electricity on Earth. And we're going to be using our emergency powers to allow countries and entrepreneurs and people with a lot of money build big plants, AI plants. We need double the energy that we already have, and it's going to end up being more than that. And we're going to slash.
Leads bezoeken jouw website, maar 98% blijft anoniem. Onthul ze met Leadinfo.
We're going to slash the regulations, environmental regulations that are really put in there in order to stop progress in this country. We're going to also slash something else, the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy. We will create the new Department of Government Efficiency, headed by a gentleman named Elon Musk, who's here someplace. I don't know where the hell he is. He's here someplace. Come here, Elon. Did you see his rocket yesterday? It was captured. And X is with him. X. Come on.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Sorry, little X just followed me on the stage here. He's a very enthusiastic supporter, as you can see. Woo! Yeah. So we're looking forward to making a lot of changes, and you know this victory is the start, really. What matters going forward is to actually make significant changes, have those changes, and set the foundation for America to be strong for a century, for centuries, forever. So, and make America great again. Yeah. So, yeah. So we're gonna do great things here. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon. You know, I always say we have to be protective of our geniuses because we don't have too many, but that one is a good one. I watched this rocket come down about 3 months ago, and I thought it was crashing. I was talking to somebody on the phone. By the way, same thing happened yesterday. It came down, and it was captured so beautifully. It came down, it's tumbling, it's a mess, it's going down. And I said, oh, look at that, that's a disaster. And then it gets like a couple of miles away from Earth, and all of a sudden the engines start going on, the things start, and then I see it coming in and landing in the gantry, and I'm watching it say, oh, it's going to crash, oh, but those engines came out, and they blew the fire all over the place, and all of a sudden those two big arms came and hugged it like you would hug your little baby. And that sucker landed, and nobody's been able to do that but him. And he's a great guy, and we have him, and Vivek, and some great people working on a thing called costs, and he's got the credibility to do it, too. We're going to do things that are really amazing. But he went out to Pennsylvania after that. He landed that rocket nobody'd ever seen. By the way, China can't do it, Russia can't do it, or come close. It would be 10 years before they can do it. And the U.S. can't do it except for him. And it's pretty amazing. But he did that, and then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy, and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide, so it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon. And his son's name, who's cute as a button, his son's name is X. He's the only guy who could get away with the name X. But his son is a great guy. One thing we know, his son is smart. If you believe in the resource theory, he's got a nice, smart son. But thank you very much to Elon and everybody. We've had so much help. Every radical and foolish executive order of the Biden administration will be repealed within hours of when I take the oath of office. Oh, you're going to have a lot of fun watching television tomorrow. Somebody said yesterday, sir, don't sign so many in one day. Let's do it over a period of weeks. I said, like hell, we're going to do it over weeks. We're going to sign them at the beginning. You know that old story. Let's do it later. Then it never gets done. No, we're doing them tomorrow. And we'll have plenty to sign in the future. Don't worry about it. It's not going to stop. But we're going to stop the destructive and divisive diversity, equity, and inclusion mandates all across the government and private sector and return our country to the merit system. You know, the Supreme Court ruled that the United States is allowed to go by the merit system, which is what made us great in the first place. That was a big, big ruling that a lot of people don't even know about, but it was a big, tremendous ruling. And you're focusing on character, competence, and qualifications in all hiring decisions. Now you're allowed to go by competence and ability and genius. You don't have to hire somebody to send up one of his rocket ships that doesn't know anything about what's happening. As the first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse the overclassification of government documents, and in the coming days, we're going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam. And I will direct our military to begin construction of the great Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will all be made in the USA. And we will get wokeness the hell out of our military immediately and make it like it used to be. Take a look at this.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will learn by the number!
Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month. And actually, let's declare it a summer of pride.
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face! Sir, you got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah! Oh, okay, you didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! Ah! for war. But until then, you are cute. You're the lowest part of life on earth. You're not even human fucking being. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
How to abracadabra these bitches know I got answers the way I...
The best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as the brown stain on the mattress. I love working for Uncle Sam. I love working for Uncle Sam. Lets me know just who I am. Lets me know just who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Thank you. So we won 2 world wars with that. And that's the way it's going to be. The American people have given us their trust, and in return, we're going to give them the best first day, the biggest first week, and the most extraordinary first 100 days of any presidency in American history. To implement this historic agenda, I've assembled an all-star cabinet of patriots and visionaries and reformers who will fight for America, and together we will win, win, win for America. To restore the spirit of American Armed Forces, I have appointed Pete Hegseth as our next Secretary of Defense. Where's Pete? Where's Pete? Pete's here someplace. Where is he? Good job, Pete. They like you, Pete. Thanks, Pete. They like him. to bring back integrity to our intelligence community. Tulsi Gabbard will be our next Director of National Intelligence. To make America healthy again, we will have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services. To end the weaponization of our government and restore the impartial rule of law. Oh, this is so important. She's so incredible. Pam, an outstanding Attorney General. She's going to do an incredible job. She will do an incredible job, and she's working with another person who's going to be unbelievable at the FBI, Cash Patel. My decision on the J6 hostages. Very happy. I think you'll be very, very happy. I would say about 99.9% in this beautiful arena. And by the way, I want to thank the owners of this. Kid is a great player, right? But I want to thank Ted and all of the owners for allowing this to take place. It was really great. And thank you. It's a hell of an operation. Great place. Fantastic arena. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, everybody. At Homeland Security, we will have a tough leader in Kristi Noem, and we will have an outstanding Secretary of Transportation in Sean Duffy, Congressman Sean Duffy. Great people. And we're going to win so much that Governor Burgum of the Interior, you know Governor Burgum, one of the best governors in the country, is in charge of Department of the Interior, and the hottest man anywhere in the world for energy. When I announced him, people couldn't believe it. You didn't hear of him, but if you're in the energy business, he's considered the absolute best. Mr. Chris Wright of the Energy Department. He's going to head up the Energy Department. He's the hottest guy, and there is anybody in the energy business. They said, I can't believe you got Chris Wright. And a man named Marco Rubio is going to be our great future Secretary of State. And Howard Lutton, Wall Street, is going to be our Secretary of Commerce. They have to go through these drills, but they're going to. And I want to thank the Republican senators. They've been doing great. And John Thune has been doing a great job in moving the process along quickly. We're going to have a lot of them hopefully approved very quickly. And a very special woman, Linda McMahon, is going to be our future, which we're going to be giving back to the states. Let the state run education. I said to Linda, Linda, I'm making you the Secretary of Education, but if you do a great job, you will put yourself out of a job because you're going to be sending it back to the states. And she's fantastic. And her staff, which has been largely hired, is fantastic. And all of the other leaders will come to me and they're going to say, do you remember I used to do this for fun? But it's really not fun, it's fact. Because we have to do some of best of, right? But they're going to come and say to me, sir, we're winning too much, sir. We can't take it anymore. We have to stop winning, sir. We can't do it. We're not used to winning in our country. And each one of them is going to say, every single one, sir, please, please, you're destroying our country. We're winning too much. Our country isn't prepared for this. They're not used to winning, sir. And I'll say, no, Linda and everybody, we're not going to stop winning. The people of our country want us to keep on winning, and we're going to go win like never, ever before. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing it, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is having a heart attack down here. Look at him. Uncle Sam is going wild. And they think I pay for these people. I have no idea who he is. All I know is he does. And there's Abe Lincoln. Thank you, honest Abe. I have no idea. I swear, I have no idea who the hell he is. but he looks like Abe. He's probably a little bit shorter in all fairness. 6, he's a little bit shorter. He's about a foot shorter. Other than that, he's perfect. Thank you, Abe. In addition to the most talented cabinet ever assembled, and we think we're hearing things like that, we will be supported in our mission by countless wonderful American patriots. First, let me thank my incredible family, and I want to thank in particular somebody that headed up the Republican Party, along with Mike, the two of them, Lara Trump, who you saw before, who produced those two beautiful, is unbelievable. She was the chairman of the Republican Party, and nobody ever said, oh, gee, it's a family member. They actually said, how the hell did you get her to do it? And she did a phenomenal job. We had a minimum of cheating. We watched them like a hawk. Where is Lara? Where the hell is she? Because she did some job. See, she wants to be nice and quiet. She's here someplace. Thank you, Lara. Thank you very much, hon. She's phenomenal. The job she did, and her son, who was up. Didn't they do a beautiful job? The son and the daughter. How many young kids know that one? They don't know that one. But her husband is someone I'm very proud of. He's doing a great job. He's been subpoenaed more than any. Every day he'd get a subpoena from Congress on something, oh, bullshit. But he'd get a subpoena. He's got a PhD in subpoenas. But he did a fantastic job. And Don, you know all about Don, how he did. He knows a lot about guns, I want to tell you that. We had, by the way, I have to tell you, we had great support from every gun group, including the NRA. It's really worked hard. And Ivanka and Jared are here, and Tiffany and Michael are here, and Barron and my 10 incredible grandchildren, and another one coming through Tiffany. And of course, I want to thank our next Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, wherever he may be. There's a lot of people. Wherever the hell he is, he's here someplace. It's a lot of people. It's a little tough when you say, where is he? You know, you got a lot of people in here. But J.D. Vance has been extraordinary. And he's got the Second Lady of the United States, Usha Vance. So, Usha, thank you very much. It's a beautiful couple, great people. We're also pleased to be joined tonight by Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster. The Hulkster. One thing, it's not hard to find him. All he has to do is stand up and you say, there he is. But he's great. And Kid Rock, wow, Kid Rock is a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine for a long, long time. He did that thing on Budweiser will never be the same, and he did the gun with the mega hat. That was the commercial that everybody saw. Also with us tonight is a great actor, tremendously talented guy, John Voight. He's great, and a friend of mine. And Sylvester Stallone is here. Great guy. And you know, I got Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Voight to become ambassadors to Hollywood, California, to put it back on track. So they're all ambassadors. You have to refer to them as ambassador, Mr. Ambassador. And a man who's got an army of young people. Charlie Kirk is here. I want to thank Charlie. Charlie is fantastic. I mean, this guy, don't believe the stuff when you give kids a liberal. They're not liberal. Maybe they used to be, but they're not anymore. You got to see how many people are for us. And I want to thank Megan Kelly. She's been terrific. She's been really good. And Billy Ray Cyrus. And Lee Greenwood. Wow, has he been something. What a song and what a man. And you know, by the way, these microphones, you see the microphones? I said, what the hell are those microphones doing standing behind me? You're going to have a little special treat at the end of this speech. I don't want to tell you because you'll rush me off the stage. Get off the stage. But you have a little special treat. And I won't tell you, but let's put it this way. It's the people that 30 years ago had a hot song, never hit number 1, hit number 5. But 30 years later, it hit number 1 week after week. And they're here to sing. They're here to sing. For you. And you won't recognize them. They're slightly larger than they used to be, but that's the way life goes. We can all tell you, that's the way life goes. There's nothing we can do about that. Sebastian Gorka, stand up, Sebastian. I see Sebastian here. As a patriot, he's been with me through thick and thin, right, Sebastian? Now he's with the administration. Thank you. Great guy. And again, I want to thank Elon for what he did in Pennsylvania. He worked so hard. He worked so hard in Pennsylvania. A great guy and a man who is a champion. A man who took something from nothing. Everybody said this is something will never work. It's too violent. But he understood people. He said they like violence, unfortunately. Right? But a man who understood fighting better than any man ever. There's never been anything like this. What Dana White did with the UFC and building it into a monster sport franchise. So I want to thank Dana White of UFC for being here. Dana, you've done a job like nobody could have done. Thank you. A great guy, a friend of mine. A great friend of mine. He's a tough cookie. You want him on your side at all times. Every one of those people you want on your side. And we have dozens of other celebrities and everything, but we're going to get back to what we're doing. But I do want to say, in the audience, we have many governors, many senators, many members of Congress, and other distinguished guests. Far too many to name, unless you'd like me to name them. No? You want me to name governors, senators, and Congress people? No. I thought you were going to say that. Sorry, governors. No, but we appreciate all of the love that we've gotten from them. I'll tell you, our House and our Senate Republicans have been unbelievable, and the governors are unbelievable, the job they're doing. Of the crime-ridden cities, the top 25, every single one of them is run by a Democrat. Does that tell you something? We don't have problems in the Republican cities. Tonight, I also want to send our love to everyone affected by the terrible wildfires raging in California. We're praying for you all. We love you all. We're going to be there very soon. I'm going to go out there on Friday to see it and to get it moving back. We're going to get some of the best builders in the world, and we'll get it moving back. And I also want to pay my respects to the great people of North Carolina. You know, I won it every single time. And they've been treated very badly. FEMA almost didn't know it existed. And we're going to get North Carolina rocking and rolling, okay? We're going to get them rocking and rolling. They've been treated very badly as a state. Together we will rebuild Los Angeles better, more beautiful than ever before. We're going to get it going. We have the best builders in the world. It's the only people that could do it. Nobody else knows what the hell they're doing. And in 2028, the Los Angeles Olympics will be one of the great sporting events and patriotic celebrations in history. I was with Gianni, the head of the Olympics, and because of the wildfires, they're going to do a special job. They're going to really do something very special on the Olympics. And the opposite, some people say, oh, maybe the Olympics can't go there. It turned out just the opposite. They came to see me the other day, and the committee, and it's just the opposite. So the Olympics is great. And Johnny, for the others, you know, the World Cup, Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup, too. And, you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know, I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election, and now we won, so I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So, Johnny, thank you for the World Cup. And everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time. We have another thing happening. 250 years. A celebration like no other. 250 years. And that's going to be taking place next year. So we have a lot of big events coming. And everything we do everything. We take it very, very seriously. But what do we do more than anything else? We put America first. And it all starts tomorrow when I raise my hand on the Bible to be sworn as we'll be sworn in tomorrow. We're all going to be sworn in together. That's the way I look at it. It's not me, it's you. Greatest of all time. So we will be sworn in tomorrow. I'll be representing you as your 47th President of the United States. And just in conclusion, together we're going to cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, getting them back down, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to the USA, right where they belong, and that'll be done through tariffs and smart policy. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening, and you have no idea how close we are. We will crush violent crime in our cities and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military again. We did it. We rebuilt our entire military. And then they gave billions and billions of dollars of it to, you remember, to the Taliban. They gave it to the Taliban.
Is pricing change really a multi-quarter project? With ChargeBee, you can launch new pricing in minutes, not months. Experiment?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Donald J. Trump and Mrs. Melania Trump.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. It's been a very big day, and tomorrow's going to be an even bigger day. I want to especially thank you all for being here on the eve of one of the most important days in the history of our country, the day we save our nation and begin to make America great again. I'm thrilled to share this special moment with so many friends and supporters. You are a very extraordinary crowd of people. You're the men and women who helped make this momentous day possible, and I'm incredibly grateful for your love and support and generosity. You've been amazing. Our journey has not been an easy one, as you perhaps have seen. A lot of people said that was an impossible journey, but here we are. And we stuck together through every challenge and obstacle, and we stood strong for our country and for our freedom. And this is not my victory. This is our victory, everybody in this room. Thank you. Over the past 8 years, we've built a new political coalition of hardworking patriots of every race, religion, color, and creed, youth, women, African American, and you know that we set every record there is with African Americans and every record there is with Hispanic Americans, union members, and so many others. This is a once-in-a-lifetime realignment that will endure and lead America for generations to come. This was a very, very special time in our country's history. So as we begin this exciting new chapter, I especially want to thank my family, starting with our great First Lady, Melania. Thank you, Melania. And a very special thanks to our outstanding Vice President-elect, J.D. Vance, along with his incredible wife, Usha Vance. Great. Thank you, J.D. Fantastic job. Thank you very much, Usha. And I have to call out somebody that's very special, who we put into a position that she knew nothing about other than she's an extraordinarily competent person, and she learned everything she needed to learn probably in the first day. And that's Laura Trump, who became the head, along with Michael, of the Republican Party, and she ran a tough group of people, and we made it too big to rig. They tried, but they couldn't get past her and Michael, so I want to thank both of you. It's a fantastic job that you did. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Tonight I also want to thank Speaker Mike Johnson, Senators Rick Scott. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. He's the nicest man. He's actually a killer, I have to be honest with you, but everybody thinks he's the nicest man. He reminds me of Witkoff. Everyone says Witkoff's the nicest guy. But he's not at all. Just happens to be very capable. But Mike is something because everyone likes him. And when you have a majority of about 2, it's going up to 5, but right now we're 2, because I brilliantly decided I wanted 3 people. Sorry I had to do that. It just was really testing you, Mike, to see how good you really were. It's a test. But he's done an amazing job. He's going to be a great speaker. Senators Rick Scott, David McCormick, Eric Schmidt, Bill Haggerty, along with Representatives Jason Smith, Tom Cole, Darrell Issa. Former Speaker Kevin McCarthy is here. Governor Sarah Sanders and Patrick Morrissey. Co-chairs Steve Witkoff. Thank you, Steve. What a job. Just got back from the Middle East. He had a little project that he did very well on. And we took in the first hostages today, and they're coming in tomorrow, and they're going to keep coming in. And you notice it was the day before we take office, even though the other administration, I'll be nice tonight, the other administration says, well, they didn't have too much to do with it, did they? No, not at all. Just happened to be the day before we took office. But you were fantastic, Steve, and I appreciate it. And Kelly Loeffler and Miriam Adelson. Where is Miriam Adelson? She's so fantastic. Thank you, Miriam. She is a fantastic woman. She was very generous, as were many of the people in this room, and countless other distinguished guests. Let me also express my appreciation for all of the members of our incoming cabinet who are all here, and who have stepped forward to serve, and they're doing really well in the process. And the senators, the Republican senators, have been very understanding and very professional, and we appreciate it so far. Now, if that changes, I'll let you know. I'll let John know. This will be among the most talented teams ever assembled, and we're getting tremendous credit for that, by the way. And together we will make America stronger and prouder than ever before. This group of people is extraordinary. Tomorrow we will end 4 years of failure, disaster, and decline. And we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around quick, and we're going to do things that nobody thought even were possible. We're inheriting a nation faced with crisis at home and abroad, but I will describe in my inaugural address tomorrow. Can you believe it? Tomorrow. It's been a long 4 years. Nasty. It's been a nasty 4 years. My administration will take immediate and decisive action to confront every single problem America faces and put our nation back on the path to success and greatness. Within hours of taking office, I will sign dozens of executive orders, close to 100 to be exact, many of which I will be describing in my address tomorrow. We will not waste a single moment in delivering on our promises to the people. The Trump administration will again live by the motto, promises made, promises kept, and we kept those promises. We had a very, very successful last administration, and this one I think is going to be even more successful, maybe a lot more successful if that's possible. Less than 24 hours from now, the invasion of our borders will end and the restoration of our sovereignty will begin. We will stop immediately criminals from pouring into our country from countries all over the world. That will stop immediately. We will quickly defeat the inflation crisis and unlock the liquid gold. You know what liquid gold is? We have more than anybody under our feet. In other words, we will drill, baby drill, and get those prices down, and everything else is going to follow as it always does. With the stroke of my pen, I will revoke dozens of destructive and radical executive orders and actions of the Biden administration, and by this time tomorrow, they will all be null and void.